Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
New tonight, body camera released of a carjacking investigation ending with a police cruiser inside of a diner.
Somebody thought they could do this to my property and then think they can get away with it.
The suspect in court today. We're live with the latest.
Plus, water worries, murky water pouring out of faucets, the issue raising concerns at a condo complex.
When I do have to do the younger ones with a bath, we pray.
Residents calling for answers and searching for solutions.
Plus, the affordable housing issue continues in Connecticut.
They're really having to choose between eating and having a roof over their heads.
The push for legislation to help ease the burden.
And business is brewing as wild card season starts for the NFL. How one local spot is gearing up for the big games this weekend. The News at 6 starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We are learning new details about the suspect who jumped into a Bristol police cruiser and then crashed it into a diner yesterday.
The Office of the Inspector General releasing a report today along with body camera footage. The footage shows the moment the suspect drove off in a cruiser, followed by an officer firing shots. But we want to begin heading out to Fox 61's Carmen Chow in the field for the very latest. Carmen.
Ben and Jen, Palma's Diner is now boarded up and closed until they clean up the mess inside, but there's still a lot of debris all over the parking lot after that mayhem yesterday. Now, I did speak to the property manager who was here earlier, and she was visibly upset, saying the town of Bristol has been through enough.
Somebody thought they could do this to my property and then think they can get away with it.
Catherine Ryan owns this building. She says her family built it in the 50s and never did she think a crime like this would happen in her town. The damage is a result of an investigation involving multiple districts Thursday afternoon. According to the Inspector General report, Bristol officers were initially investigating a carjacking at knife point that took place in Farmington. It was later learned the suspect, a 39-year-old Jimmy Shoemaker Gonzalez, was responsible for another carjacking in Hartford. Bristol officers found the stolen vehicle abandoned by Shoemaker Gonzalez, who tried to run from police, eventually jumping into a Bristol police cruiser. Body camera footage released Friday shows that very moment.
Bristol, he's got a cop car.
You then see multiple officers telling the suspect to get out of the car.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
The video shows Shoemaker Gonzalez driving off, and Bristol officer Seth Petzing shoots at the cruiser, one of the bullets hitting the suspect in the leg. Minutes later, surveillance footage from a pizza shop shows Gonzalez speeding down the street in the cruiser, eventually crashing into Palma's Diner. A man telling Fox 61 Thursday he was just 20 feet away when this happened.
And all of a sudden I heard a big bang with the restaurant next door, the diner.
Shoemaker Gonzalez is currently in the hospital. The prosecutor read his long list of charges.
Obviously, lengthy criminal history, very serious allegations in this case.
The judge setting his bond at $500,000.
Outrageous. This needs to stop. You got to stop giving people a slap on the wrist for crimes that they're committing.
Now, Shoemaker Gonzalez is expected to be arraigned again in 2 weeks. As for this diner here, I was told they don't know when they will reopen. I'm live in Bristol. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.
Great, Carmen. Thank you very much. Well, 2 Waterbury teens are facing a slew of charges after police say they were involved in a series of crimes that started with a carjacking and ended with those teens running into a police cruiser, all within a few hours. This all started in Wolcott.
That's where we find Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc joining us now live from the police department with the latest details. Julia.
Hi, good evening to you both. Yeah, this all started around 1 p.m. yesterday on Chicory Drive here in town. Police say a woman left her car running in the driveway, and within the blink of an eye, it was stolen. And then police say the 2 teens that stole the car went on a long crime spree.
See it slow down there? then it stops.
A neighborhood ring camera catching the moments leading up to a carjacking happening in broad daylight on Chicory Drive in Wolcott.
Everybody walks their dogs, and you would never expect any of this.
Candy Sylvester wasn't the one targeted, but another woman on her street was. On Thursday at 1 p.m., someone left their car running in a driveway. Suddenly, a car pulls up, stops at the house, and someone gets out and steals their car. Someone then pointed what looked like a gun at her, so she backed off and called police.
I was shocked because I was in and out yesterday all day with my car running.
After scoring the car on Chicory, the suspects sped off to Waterbury, attempting to steal another car and getting into a shots fired incident there. Then police spotted them and they drove recklessly, crashing into a police cruiser and another car in an intersection. Eventually, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old were taken into handcuffs, charged in connection to the crimes. At least one of the teens is well known to police.
These criminals that are out there doing the crime, whether they're juveniles or the adults, they feel nothing's going to happen to them, so they continuously do it.
Chief Edward Stevens is frustrated by this trend. He says police are limited with who they can go after and when, continuously seeing repeat offenders.
There's no in-between for these kids to keep them on the straight and narrow.
And he says it's not just hurting police.
But it's the poor victims. It's the homeowners. It's the people on the street. You know, my heart goes out to them. This poor girl who is ready to go on vacation has her car stolen, her money taken, her pocketbook. She has to replace all that.
Now, the two teens, as I mentioned, were charged with a laundry list of things, including carrying a pistol without a permit, auto theft, and interfering with police officers, just to name a few of them. And of course, we're learning a few lessons from this as well. The chief says never leave your car running in the driveway and always lock it all up. We're live here in Wolcott tonight. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. And now to a story that you'll only see here on Fox 61. Residents of a Bristol condo complex have complaints about brown water coming out of their faucets.
Yeah, they tell Fox 61 that they feel helpless because nobody's taking responsibility for this. Fox 61's Matt Caron is in Bristol bringing a little bit of transparency to this now murky story.
Well, take a look for yourself. This is not a bottle of Pepsi. This is water that's coming from the faucets here at the Marwood condominium complex, specifically the hot water. Would you drink it? 50 shades of brown and green.
Water, a basic human need.
From the bathtub to the sink.
It's concerning. They're telling us don't ingest this water. Well, what's wrong with it?
Serena Sawyer lives at the Marwood condos in Bristol with her 4 kids. She's concerned about their health and has to get creative to cook and clean. She's complained to the city, state, and her condo association and says everyone is pointing the finger.
How does that make you feel?
Helpless and just frustrated because it's being in a healthcare field. I'm a nurse. I was pregnant during COVID. I couldn't come home and shower. So I would have to isolate myself in the basement. I'm just hoping somebody could shed some light and help us.
So Fox 61 went digging for answers. The state health department says it does not have any record of receiving customer complaints. The city told us it looked into it and found no issues with water delivery up to the point of the condominium's property line.
But we also don't have the responsibility as a city to make sure that hot water heaters are working appropriately. Their condo association fees and their board needs to take this up.
The condo association board didn't respond to our inquiry, while Palmer Property Management only told us you really need to speak to the Bristol Water Department. While the blame game continues, residents are left to live with lingering questions.
Painful to have to go through this, and it's constant.
Their own drinking water tests show actionably high levels of copper, iron, and manganese.
Please just do something. This is not only hurting me, but my kids. Please just do something to fix it.
And those are minerals that at high levels have been known to cause some health issues. To make matters a little bit more complicated, some of the residents here in Marwood rent their units, but others own them. But even the owners tell me that they don't pay for their hot water, and they certainly do not have access to the boiler room or to the pipes. Reporting in Bristol, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
Wow, Matt, I hope you stay on that because as a mom, that makes my blood boil.
It's disgusting.
We can do better, I think.
All right, let's get over to the Weather Watch here. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us. All eyes on the weekend. It's been a rainy end of the week, Rach.
Look at those temperatures.
This is crazy. And these temperatures actually occurred early this morning. And for many, while we were sleeping, near 60 degrees in the Hartford area, 56 in Groton, 57 in Meriden. And now temperatures are starting to fall. We knew this wasn't going to last for very long, although we continue to see warmer temperatures this winter compared to average. It's colder up in northwestern Connecticut, the warmest down along the shoreline, where we're still hanging on to temperatures around 50 degrees. And we're looking at some patchy mist and drizzle in spots out there. But looks like we're going to hang on to the clouds heading into the weekend. There's an offshore storm developing, and that will also provide us with a close call for snow in eastern areas heading into the weekend. But for now, we have the forecast dry. Heading through the coming hours, we'll see those numbers dropping back into the 30s. Tomorrow, it's a mostly cloudy day, and after a morning low around 30 degrees, the temperatures don't climb very much as we head into the afternoon, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. We'll talk about what we're watching for Sunday, your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Rachel. Police are investigating a drive-by shooting in East Hartford. It happened this morning on Cloverdale Drive. Police say someone in a car shot at another car, shattering the car's windshield. And West Hartford police are asking for the public's help to find the driver of a car that hit and killed an 89-year-old back on December 20th. Police say they're looking for a car similar to the one you're seeing here on your screen, a 2010 and 2015 GMC Terrain. They say that the car has front-end damage and could be lightly colored. Anyone with any information should contact West Hartford police.